Winter is here, and that means cozy sweaters, hot chocolate, snowflakes, and for some of us, a big gloomy guest called Seasonal Affective Disorder. If you're feeling a little more Eeyore than Elsa at this time of year, stick around. We're diving into what seasonal affective disorder is, what it feels like, how to fight back, and when it's time to call in the pros. My name's Larissa, and this is the Concussion Crew, a place where we share tips and tricks for making life a little bit easier. And dealing with the seasons, dealing with less sunlight is something that impacts everybody to different levels. So whether you're dealing with an injury or an illness or chronic pain that is exacerbated and made worse by the winter weather, or if you are just being impacted by the weather, you are in the right place. And on that note, before we dive in, please remember that I am not a doctor and this is not medical advice. Make sure that you connect with your family doctor if you do have specific concerns. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that once we talk about what is seasonal affective disorder. We're going to shorten that down to SAD, S-A-D. It's a type of depression that ebbs and flows with the seasons. Most commonly, it starts in the fall and lasts and gets worse through the winter. According to the Mayo Clinic, it is linked to shorter daylight hours. And that messes with your body's internal clock, your serotonin levels, your melatonin production. Translation, less sunlight, sadder you, basically. Some of the symptoms to look out for include feeling sluggish or tired all the time, losing interest in things you used to enjoy, RIP to your Netflix queue, difficulty concentrating, changes in appetite like carbs and pasta are your new best friend, even feeling hopeless or really irritable. If this sounds like you every winter, you are not alone. The National Institute of Mental Health estimates that 5% of adults in the United States experience SAD. If you're recovering from an injury or illness, SAD can make things worse, and just the lack of sunlight can really affect your mood. So it is essential to address it early. Imagine waking up in the morning and you feel sluggish and like you're trying to push through fog, even though you had a full 8 hours sleep, or trying to do your favorite hobby, but all you want to do is curl up and hibernate quietly. SAD can feel like the emotional equivalent of being stuck in a snowdrift with no shovel. It can be heavy and draining and hard to deal with without getting help. Okay, now for the good stuff. What can we actually do about it? Here are some science-backed tips to help lighten your mood. Number 1 is light therapy. Things changed for me when I invested in a light therapy box. This is what mine looks like, and 20 to 30 minutes in the morning can simulate sunlight and help boost serotonin levels. I usually put on an audiobook or a podcast and listen while I soak up the sun. Just make sure it's 10,000 lux. I don't know what that means, but that's what the science says. And consult your doctor before starting. Option 2, get outside. Bundle up, make sure you're warm, make sure you wear a hat, make sure you feel cozy. And then go outside, get some sun, even though it's cloudy, even though it's less rays, it will help. And movement, having a little bit of exercise, if your medical team says that's okay for you, is great for getting the endorphins flowing. If it's too cold to go outside or that's not something you're comfortable with, exercising at home can help. Doing a gentle yoga if that's the level that you're at, or having a dance party in your living room if you can manage it. Just getting the blood pumping is going to help your entire system feel better. Sugary treats give you that immediate boost of joy, but for long-term benefits, you're going to want to eat things like salmon and leafy greens. Focus on foods that are rich in omega-3s, berries, for example. And if you can, try to limit the sugary treats because they will make you crash, make you feel worse, and then it's a whole cycle. Sticking to a sleep schedule can be so difficult, but also beneficial. Making yourself get out of bed in the morning and then going to bed at the same time each night. I know, we've all heard this a million times from doctors, on podcasts, on morning TV. They talk about the importance of a sleep routine. And so since we're here, since we're talking about this, if you nap, no judgment, you do you. But if you find that you're up and you're doom scrolling on TikTok at 1 in the morning, it can help to force yourself to get back onto a schedule. And suggestion number 6, on really crappy days, I reach out to friends or family. And that can be a phone call, it can be a video chat. My sister lives 4 hours away from me, so I can't just grab a coffee with her, but I can have a video call, and usually my brother-in-law is in the background and he'll say hi, and then my nephew will jump in. And that little bit of connection helps to boost my mood. There are a bunch of ways to hack your brain chemicals to make yourself feel a little bit better, whether it's complimenting even a stranger. If you make somebody else's day feel better, it actually releases chemicals in your own brain. So if you'd like more information on how to hack your brain chemicals, you can check out the video that is linked above. If you are anything like me, you want to be self-reliant. I can push through. I can make magic happen. But sometimes we can't, right? If your symptoms are long-lasting, or if they feel like a lot, if you feel like I can't do this, reach out to your family doctor. There are a number of different ways that they might be able to help with cognitive behavioral therapy, with medicines. They have a whole arsenal of tools. Using the right people for the job is important. It's not you not having enough fortitude. It's you knowing when to call in the right people. If your driveway gets iced over, sure, maybe you could stand out there for hours with an ice pick trying to slowly chip away and maybe doing some good. But dude, if your driveway's iced over, call in a professional with a snowplow who can do a big salt and get the ice gone. Sometimes we just need a little bit of extra assistance. And if you're already dealing with a lot of stress at work or at home, or you're ill or you're injured, remember that the lack of sunlight might be hitting your already taxed, freaked out, stressed out system a lot harder. And it's okay to ask for help. Seasonal affective disorder might feel like a long, hard winter slog, but there are things you can do to try to bring light back into your life and feel a bit better. Try out these tips and let us know in the comments if it helps, or if you have other ways that you beat the winter blues. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this video helpful, I hope you'll like and subscribe so that you'll get more tips on how to make life a little bit easier and how to feel a little bit better. Thank you, and remember that you are not alone in trying to make life feel a bit brighter.